Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Cindy, I'm the author of some gothic horror mashups, and today we're going to be doing an author taste test. So for this one, I'm going to do Claire Douglas because I have a NetGalley arc of her newest one, which is called The Woman Who Lied. And then I already owned two more of her books, but just hadn't gotten to them, so I thought it would be perfect. The next one I'm going to be doing is Just Like the Other Girls, and then The Couple at Number 9. So I've never read anything by this author, so I'm going to do this taste test and see if I like her. See if I want to continue reading from her in the future. Hello everyone. So I've started my first book for this vlog, which is The Woman Who Lied. And I'm already a couple chapters in, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it's about. So this is about a writer, and she's written like 12 or 13 novels, I think, all part of one detective story. And so part of the plot of her books is now starting to crop up in her real life. And so these creepy things keep happening. And she's like, wait a minute, that happened in my book, you know? And so she's trying to figure out who is doing this and why they're doing it. So this is a premise I've seen done before, mostly in TV series, but it's nothing new or really that exciting. So we'll see how it's done because execution is everything sometimes. So far it's not bad, but then again, I'm not all that far into it. So anyways, the plan is I'm gonna start reading some more and we'll see how far I get. My kids come home from school in about 2 hours, so I'm just gonna see how far I get in these 2 hours and I'll update you when I'm done. Hello everyone, I'm back for another update. So this is the final update for this book, and honestly it was pretty generic and bland. I thought it was just a regular thriller, like there was nothing about it that really stood out. It's a premise I've seen before, the dialogue was pretty weak, I didn't care about the characters, and for some reason there was like a lot of extra characters and we got all this superfluous detail about them for some reason. It's like, this is my cousin's uncle's aunt, and this is some stuff about their background, and then this is my grandmother, and here's some background about her, but like none of these details really add up to anything, and so it was just like, felt like filler. I don't know. There was no actual like tension or atmosphere with this book, I felt. Even though like creepy stuff was happening, it really wasn't that creepy and there was no tension really. And I don't know, I thought it was okay. Honestly, last time I updated with you, I just started skimming at that point because I just didn't care. Normally I would have DNF'd it if I wasn't reading it for a video. So not a great start to this vlog, I'm sorry. I really hope her next two are better than this one, but we shall see. I'm going to go ahead and start just like the other girls, and we'll see how it goes. Hey y'all, so I thought I'd come to a little park and have some breakfast and read my book, and then I'll tell you all about it. But it actually rained last night, and so everything's wet and a little bit muddy, but oh well. It is what it is. At least it's cool. I hate the heat. I'm sick of the heat, so there's that. So I haven't gotten breakfast at McDonald's for a really long time, but my kids are back in school now, and I just thought it might be fun. I used to go get like some hash browns and just go get a strawberry banana smoothie. So I just thought I'd do that since I haven't done it in years. But it was $8 just for 2 hash browns and a smoothie, a small smoothie. And they made the size smaller. Like they used to be bigger than this. So that's a big disappointment. So let me tell you what this book is about. This is called Just Like the Other Girls, and this is the second book that I'm going to read for this vlog. So this is about a girl that becomes like a, what do they call it? Like a lady's maid, not a lady's maid, a lady's companion. And so that makes it sound like Victorian times, you know, when they used to have companions just to keep them company and talk to them and whatever else. We don't really do that anymore. But this is modern times. It's in 2019, so I don't know. Rich people problems, I guess. So this girl, she gets this job as this lady's companion to go hang out with this older lady who's getting up in years. And apparently her daughter is not happy with this situation, and she doesn't like that her mother hired her. And then she kind of finds out that there's been 2 other girls that have also had this position and had this job, but they've both ended up vanished, and nobody wants to talk about them. Nobody wants to tell her what happened and why they didn't get the job or why they left the job or all of that stuff. So I don't know, it sounds interesting. It kind of sounds like a modern take on a Victorian concept, so I thought that was interesting. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll read the first couple chapters and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so I have finished reading the first two chapters of this. So we're following this girl named Una, and she really wants this job as the lady's companion. It's mostly just the setup where she first gets the job as the lady's companion, and she's going to be living at this swanky mansion or whatever. So it's kind of interesting though, because Catherine, she's the daughter that's upset that she's getting this job, and it looks like we're actually going to get her point of view too. So that's going to be interesting. And then we also have these passages, I don't know if you can see that, where it's like just a couple of paragraphs in italics, and it sounds like somebody is actually watching Una, kind of like a stalker. And so that's interesting. I don't know if the author's gonna try and lead us to believe that it's Catherine that's watching her, but I highly doubt it. So anyway, so periodically we just get these passages from this person that's been watching Una and stalking her and saying, you're going to regret having this job, you're not going to like it, and kind of being critical of her, and thinks that she's just like, I'm so awesome and I'm so attractive, That's kind of how this person views Una so far. And if she does something nice, like give up a seat on a bus, he or she is like, are they really nice? Or is she just trying to pretend to be nice? So obviously this person that's following her and watching her is not a fan of her. So it's pretty interesting so far. I really like it. And I think it's going to be a really fast read because the font is really big and spacious. So I feel like this is going to be a quick read. So, I mean, I'm not that far into it, obviously. I'm only on the page like 23, but so far so good. I think it's pretty good. And it starts out like a lot of thriller authors like to do, where they have the ending and the beginning. So you have this passage at the front where this woman, who I'm assuming is our protagonist, is in trouble and somebody's trying to kill her and make it look like a suicide, just like the other girls. So, it kind of uses that to get you hooked and get you interested, which I understand, I get, but sometimes I don't really like the authors do that, because it does hook you, but at the same time, then you're just waiting the whole entire book to get there, and sometimes it can be a bit spoilery about what happens. So I don't know if I love it when authors do that. It's not my favorite thing. I know a lot of people would disagree with me. They think it's a really good idea, and maybe it is, but for me personally, I could take it or leave it. I don't necessarily need that to hook me. So in my Freedom McFadden vlog, I took you guys to this river. Now remember how big and raging it was? Now look at it, such a difference. Just a tiny little trickle almost. Hey guys, so I'm back for an update. I'm about halfway through, just like the other girls, and I'm enjoying this one far better than the last one. I could not connect to the last one. The writing wasn't good. I just couldn't get into it. But this one, I'm glad to say I am actually very invested. I find it very interesting and intriguing, and I'm really enjoying my time with it. So if you like books like The Housemaid by Frida McFadden or Verity, then I think you would like this because it has kind of a similar premise to it where this girl, you know, she's taking care of this older woman and living in their house, but then other things are going on. So it has that same kind of feel, that same atmosphere to it, and so I'm very much enjoying it. And there is one reveal that's already happened, and I won't tell you what it is, but it was very intriguing. I didn't see it coming, so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I am glad for that we're having a little bit more intrigue that's creeping up. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep reading here in my chair, and I will update you if and when anything else interesting happens. Okay, as you saw my reaction, I have something to say. So I've been reading for about an hour and I've got like a third left is all. So I've made it pretty far in. I'm on chapter 31 and something just happened that kind of shocked me because it's just not something that normally happens. And I know that's stupidly vague, but I don't want to give away any spoilers. But yeah, something just happened that I was like, what? Like that doesn't normally occur. So very interesting, very intriguing. We have a new character that's been introduced named Willow, and I actually really like her. I might like her more than the main character, to be honest, which is a little bit sad in a way, but I don't know, I'm enjoying her point of view. And I don't know, the suspense and the intrigue has just continued at a good pace, I feel like. And there are some parts where I think the author could have made it more suspenseful if she hadn't have said like, oh, there's someone in my room, and then just immediately told us who that person was, you know. If she had left it a little bit more mysterious for a little bit, I think the tension and the suspense could have been rocketed up a little bit. But no, for the most part, I think this is good, and I'm very much enjoying my time with it. I probably won't update again until I've finished it, but yeah, so far so good. So I have finished Just Like the Other Girls, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a decent thriller. It wasn't like revolutionary, it didn't do anything like drastically different or new or exciting that I haven't already seen other thrillers do. But even so, I just enjoyed my time with it. So take that for what you will. So I do think there was one sort of a plot hole because I believe that one of the characters towards the end, named Willow, it seemed like she had a little bit more information than I feel like she should have had. So she'll like ask questions and I'll be like, well, you didn't know anything about that. You know, that was the other girl. So I don't know. I don't know if I just missed it or if it really is a plot hole. I don't know. But in my humble opinion, I feel like she shouldn't have known all the things that she knew about. And then there was like one final twist at the very, very end. But I didn't find it particularly shocking because I've seen other thrillers do the same like last twist in the same way, and so I was just like like I didn't hate the last twist, but I wasn't like blown away by it, like, oh my gosh, you know? So it was just like, meh. So, but yeah, I enjoyed this one much, much better than I enjoyed the last book that I read by this author. So it makes me more excited to read the third one. If the first one and this one had both been flops, then I would have been like, oh, shall I even read the third book, you know? But now we're like tied, a bad one and a good one. So now we have to have a third one to tell me whether this author is somebody that I want to read from in the future. So without further ado, that book is The Couple at Number 9. So this is about a couple who move into a house that was formerly owned by grandmother. And she's pregnant now and she's living there with her boyfriend and they want to renovate the house. So as they're renovating it, the construction crew discover a couple of dead bodies buried in the backyard. And so she's like, oh crap. And so it's discovered that these bodies have been there for 30 years. And so the police need to ask the grandmother some questions because she was the former owner of the house. But unfortunately, the grandmother has Alzheimer's and is in a nursing home at this time. And so her memories are a little, cloudy and fuzzy, and she doesn't quite remember that long ago and what happened to this couple. And well, I don't know if it's a couple, but these two bodies. And so now it's up to our main character and her boyfriend to kind of figure out what happened in their home 30 years ago. So sounds promising, so I'm excited to get started with this. So I will update you when I'm a little bit in. Okay, I'm here for another update. I've actually made it to part 2, so I thought that would be a good time to talk about this book. By the way, just a side note, my husband bought me these bookmarks. You have a magnet on both sides of it, and so then when you fit it on the page, it snaps together. So I thought that was really fun. But anyways, so not a whole lot has happened. It's basically just setting the scene and then setting up the characters and the premise. But it looks like we're following Saffron Cutler. She's our main character. Her and her boyfriend moved into this little cottage and she found out that she's pregnant. So then her mom, she was pregnant as a teenager, didn't really do the whole mom thing very well. And so they were close, but they weren't like super close. And so she's afraid to tell her mom that she's pregnant because she thinks her mom's going to disapprove, because her mom's always been like the wild child, go out and be free and don't be tied down to a family and a house and all this stuff. But her daughter, Saffron, is a little more traditional and she likes the quiet, peaceful time in the country instead of the city life. So we're getting her perspective and we're also getting the mother's perspective, whose name is Lorna. And then there's a third perspective named Theo, and I don't know yet how he fits into the story, but he's there, so he obviously has something to do with something. So we'll find out later. And then as part 2 started, if you go to the next line, it says Rose, and that's the grandmother that's in the nursing home and has Alzheimer's. So it looks like we're going to get some perspectives from her. But it's not in the present. It says Christmas Eve, 1979. So I think all of Rose's perspectives are going to be in the past. We're going to have some backflashes to her time when she was at the cottage and might give us some insight into these two bodies that they found. So far I'm enjoying it. I think it's good. I mean, I'm not that far, but the writing's good and I'm intrigued and I'm interested. I like the characters, so far, so good. And I will go ahead and update you probably if I get to part 3. I don't know if there is a part 3. But I bet there is. Let's see. Yep, there is a part 3. So maybe when I get to part 3, then I will update again. Okay, I'm back because I've hit part 3. So I do know Theo's connection to the plot by now. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but I do know why he's part of it now. Or at least some of it. I might not know all of it. But anyways, and Theo's wife is actually unable to have children, even though they've been trying to have kids and been trying to get pregnant. So that was kind of a nice juxtaposition to Saffron just being pregnant at the time. I don't know if it has anything to do with the plot yet or not, but it was just kind of a fun little aside, I guess. So I can't really tell you much else because I'm pretty far into the book now and I don't want to give away spoilers, but just know that I'm still enjoying it. I'm still intrigued and I still like it. There is a part 4, but I don't think I'm gonna update it by that time because I just don't think I'm gonna have really anything to say. So I'm gonna wait until I finish the book before I come back for a last update. Hello, so I'm here for final thoughts on The Couple in number 9, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a solid thriller. I would probably give it about 4 stars, but unfortunately, when I like books, I tend to have less to say about them because there's no like problematic things that need to be talked about. So this is kind of going to be a boring update because all I can really say is, you know, I can't give out spoilers, but I did like it. I did enjoy it. So anyways, I just thought it was really good. There was one aspect that I did predict, but I don't think everybody will. So I think some will be able to guess some of the twists and other people won't. But even though I guessed one of the twists, probably the greatest twist in this book, I did guess it, but I still enjoyed it. It didn't take away from my enjoyment just because I figured it out. So it was a good one. And I think, you know, given that I read 3 books from this author and I didn't like one, but I really enjoyed the other 2, I think I would, going forward, read more from this author. So that's all the books I read for this vlog, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. Please leave me a comment saying if you've ever read anything by this author and if you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. And I post every Fridays, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.